make sure I pray in the morning by myself. I try to take a deep breath. We get up so often and we don't breathe. We breathe in because God allowing us to breathe, but we don't take let it out. Whatever on your back, blow it off. It's not that serious because I'm still blessed. You know, I focus on all the things that I'm thankful for my position. I'm just thankful, you know, and I walk in that thanks. Like, I'm thankful to have a house to stay in. I'm thankful to have parents. I'm thankful to eat every day. I'm thankful to be able to have people that live next door to me that help me do lawn work. You know what I mean? That's a lot for me. I own a home. I haven't touched trash. I haven't touched grass. That's major for a woman that owns a house by herself. It's like God blessed me with landscapers as neighbors. You know what I mean? So I give thanks for all the things that I know He has given me, like, without a shadow of a doubt, because I'm not that good. I'm not that right. I'm still working on myself. But I just keep telling Him I just keep thanking Him. I thank Him for where I'm at. I thank Him for where I'm going. I check myself when Gerald says something to me. Alice, don't say this like that. Gerald know I'm terrible. He been knowing me since I was little. I always love to say it. He say don't say it, but he taught me how to cuss. So I'm like, you know, so I know he's the truth, you know, at the end of the day, because I see where he come from and to where he is now, and I can talk to Gerald about anything and he don't judge me. That's my brother for life, you know what I mean? So that's the type of people I want helping me with my garden. Because I know he ain't going to let it get too messed up. He going to be like, Alice, you got weeds everywhere, you ain't cut your grass, you got trash and litter in your yard, you know, that ain't you. That's right. When you see me looking not like myself, say something to me like, Alice, you okay? Tracy is that type of friend. Pam is that type of friend. True is that type of friend. Like you that type of friend. Like I'm talking about people that I can say anything to and there's no judgment. That's what I prayed for. The people that let me be myself and they be like, hey, shut up. She told me I am like Roy Jones and Muhammad Ali. That was funny. So, you know, I'm just thankful for today, and I'm thankful for my garden, and I want y'all gardens to grow. But you got to do the work to even pray for what you need in your garden. Because some of us don't even know what to ask for. So ask God first. God, what do I need? What should I plant? What do I need to remove, as she started with them rocks? You can't plant on rocks. So if you're around a lot of rocks, you're going to have to start cleaning up so you can put down dirt. That's the first step in our garden. But I know that just based on common sense. You can't plant on rocks. You've never seen beautiful things grow from rocks. Now, you can get some weeds and some flowers, but you're not about to plant cabbage and collards. It's just not possible. So let's just know what we put in our garden. Let's make sure that we practice and ask God to show us, to make our fruits work on my peace. So Dion's peace and my peace are different peace, but we both seek it. We both seek to be faithful people. We both seek to have self-control. And everybody needs help in being tailored in different things. Everybody's issues ain't the same. You know what I mean? I met a girl, she said, I'm an addict. I said, well, you know, I like to say that I got addictions, but I'm not an addict. I said, we the same person in reverse. You know what I mean? So just crazy. So just being honest with yourself. Honesty is the truth. You know, at the end of the day, if you can't even say, man, I suck at this, I don't commit myself. My big issue since the church is here is commitment. Don't say you're going to do something that you're not going to do. Don't say you're going to come through when you're not going to come through. The church is little. Bottom line. So if you're going to be here, be here. That's just my message. Because I got peace in my heart and I love all y'all.
And then to fertilize. So we talked about soil, we talked about rocks, we talked about gardens, we talked about planting seeds. But then you have to fertilize, as we ended on that. Fertilize. Fertilize means, as Alice said, getting up in the morning, praying. Because you can't, when I was reading about fertilizing, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me see what fertilizing means. It's saying a garden fertilized because most soil does not provide the essential nutrient required for optimum growth. So therefore, in order for a garden to grow and continue to grow, you have to continue to fertilize it. You have to continue to read your word. You have to continue to pray. You have to continue to ask God, as you were just saying, Gabby. I would ask God, what do you want for me to do? Where do you want me to be? And I can use myself as a situation. I knew years ago I always wanted to be a nurse. I always wanted to care for people. And different circumstances in my life stopped me from where I wanted to go. And then finally, after certain situations ended in my life, I said, you know what? I'm going to be what I want to be. I'm going to be the nurse that said I could be. And so it doesn't matter if people coming in my life, and it's nothing like having a praying grandmother, because when I was hearing the naysayers of my coworkers saying, no, And I'm like, you know what? That's her lane. That's her garden. In my garden, I know I can do it. And when I walked across the stage, the biggest blessing in the world in 2004 was to have all 4 of my children and a half at my graduation screaming and saying, and even my friends, I had on some 6-inch heels, and I was like, I put them on at the bottom of the stage, and they were like, I'm going to help you. And I'm like 9 months pregnant. I was like, I'm going to walk across in these heels. So, because I made it in my mindset that I was walking across in these $150 heels that I bought. And I'm wearing them 9 months or not. And you really couldn't tell me I had on the guy. But I walked across in that stage. But I kept going. I didn't think about, oh my gosh, how I'm going to do it. And many of times I went to school with my children. And it was hard. It wasn't easy. Because how many of us women know, or men, we cried at night. It was hard. It was tough. So we got to move forward, but only God can help you move forward. God can wipe away those tears. Those tears are like incense. So whatever you're going through, it's an incense to God. He will help you water your garden. If you tell him, you know what, as Alex said, I don't know what tools to use to help fertilize. I don't know what tools to use to help water. He will direct you. He brought so many people in my life to help me make it through nursing school. And the funny thing, it was never my family. It was always different friends that he planted in my life to help me out. You don't know where God is going to plant something and help you out in your garden. That he's going to plant a rose and say, baby girl, you're going to get through. I planted this rose to tell you how much I love you. You don't know where he's going to stop and send an angel here on earth to say, here you go, here's $500. My girlfriend lives in Toledo, 2 hours away. She's my best friend. And I was in nursing school. I'm like, I can't even pay my electric bill. I can't pay my light bill because I didn't have any money. And I was trying to work full time and go to school. And you know, she drove. I was just talking to her on the phone. She was like, oh, let me call you back. I'm like, who's at my door? She brought $250 worth of groceries, handed me cash, and was like, I'm gone. I'm like, what? So you never know. And I was like, wow. I was like, God, you quick, because I was like, I got And she didn't tell me she was driving to Toledo. She just drove and knocked on the door and said, bye. And I was like, okay. So you don't know where God is about to bless you when you just trust and believe that he will help you fertilize this garden. He will help you water this garden. He will help you plant the seeds for your garden. If you trust and believe and have faith. He tells us to have faith of a mustard seed. And if we move mountains, Mark 11:24 says we can move the mountains. If we trust and believe we don't have anything against anybody, because if you have something against somebody, you gotta let it go and let God. You gotta let it go. Because even if you have this beautiful garden and you're still holding on to stuff and you're still holding on to weeds, like, oh, I still like that weed. No, you gotta let the weed go. It's not even good for smoking. You gotta let the weeds go. Because some of us feel like well, I'll keep this weed here, and I'll keep that weed there. And my garden is still okay. But you gotta let all the weeds go. Yeah. All the weed gotta go. From the earth. No. It's a bunch of them. No, so you gotta let it go, and you gotta tell the garden, you gotta look at your garden and say, you know what, God, help me grow it, remove the weeds, remove everything that blocks out the light of you, and know that God is able. He's willing to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask and think. And through it all, even even through it all, as a single mom, I got my bachelor's degree. As a single mom, I got my master's degree, and a dual master's, but I didn't do it by myself. I did it with lots of prayer, God, and it's nothing like having a praying grandmother to let you know you can get it, baby girl. But if you have those positive people that are praying for you and interceding with you and telling you you can get through it, you can. Because even when I'm teaching now at the University of Phoenix, and I teach 2 classes, my husband said, but even when I give a bad grade or different things, I always give them a word of encouragement, and my students will say, thank you. Even though I gave them a grade that they didn't like, but they said, thank you for the words of encouragement. Thank you for letting me know I can move forward. Thank you for pushing me. Because people don't want to hear negative stuff. If somebody was around me all the time saying, you're never going to do anything, you're never going to amount to anything, you're not, and eventually if you keep hearing that, you're going to be defeated. So you got to be around people that want to encourage your garden, want to make it grow. rough because my grandmother, every day I'm calling this lady, Grandma, and she was a first lady. She told me you could get through. She said there's somebody, she always told me, there's somebody worse off than you. But we're so busy looking at our situation and saying how worse it is. But if you was to go downtown in Cleveland, people are living in boxes. People don't have a home. Some people don't have a check to go to. Some people don't even have a job. Some people don't even have a car. So we have to look at what we do have. We should wake up every morning, thank you, Lord, I have my children. Some people lost, I think when the other pastor was here, she had said she lost her son. So you got to think of what you have and focus on what you have and say, you know what, today I get to take my son to school.